We are Cory and Wallace, an early retired couple on a full-time journey around the world. With a passion for exploring new cultures, discovering hidden gems, and enjoying delicious local food, we are on a mission to experience as much of the world as we can.
Welcome back. We are in Izmir, Turkey.
And we are checking out of the Renaissance Izmir Hotel, where we've stayed the last, I guess it's 4 nights now. And we are on our way over to a car rental agency to pick up a rental car, which we're going to have for the next 2 days, because we are going to drive ourselves to Pamukkale.
Yeah, it's the first time we've ever done a car rental. We've done bike rental, but car rental is a whole different ballgame. So we're not really 100% sure how this is going to go. Hopefully it's straightforward and no scams, but
Fingers crossed.
we've been through this before, so we'll find out what happens.
So we've got the car rental and then probably at least a 2-hour drive to the town of Denizli, where we are going to stay the next 2 nights in an Airbnb. And Denizli is a fairly easy driving distance to Pamukkale, which should be pretty cool. So come along and find out how this goes for us. It's taken about a half hour to get registered, sign in, get all the paperwork filled out for the rental car here at Enterprise. We're just waiting for the shuttle now that's going to take us to the parking lot location where we're going to actually get our car, and then we'll be on our way.
And we're off. It was pretty straightforward, but as far as we can tell, the car was in really good condition. A few nicks or dents or something, but that's not really a big deal and kind of expected. Now we have to figure out how to get out of here. Getting out of the city, how was that?
Traffic patterns here are a little different. So overall not bad, but it's a little bit, the drivers here are fairly aggressive. A lot of people cutting in, you off, though they're not technically in the lane, but it's nothing I haven't dealt with, so it wasn't too bad.
As we're driving along, it actually feels like we could be driving in Okanagan at the moment. Once you get out of the city, it's a 3-lane highway. Everything runs really smoothly.
Yeah, I mean, it's the landscape here. It's this dry, semi-arid desert landscape. I'm in on a 3-lane divided freeway doing 120 kilometers an hour. Yeah, this could totally just be the Coquihalla Highway in the central Okanagan, back home in British Columbia.
Yeah. Highway driving in Turkey, not so bad.
No, pretty easy. People here drive fast though. Speed limit's 120 kilometers an hour, and I've had a lot of people just blow by me. So yeah, they're doing easily 140, 150.
Yeah. The landscape, it's very Okanagan-like the whole way for us.
You see that guy go by just now? I'm doing 135 at the moment.
Yeah. But that's Turkey. They go very fast and very aggressive. But I'm pretty sure a lot of the landscape is farmland, and if we're thinking a lot of the trees that we're seeing is olives, which would make a lot of sense because olive oil is extremely cheap and very delicious here. Made it to our Airbnb safe and sound, and now we'll show you what it looks like. Hopefully we have better luck. This Airbnb is a representation of a good Airbnb. I'll let Wallace do the tour, but it's nice and clean and it's gonna do.
Welcome to our Airbnb here in Denizli. By the way, Denizli, much bigger city than I expected. I was expecting a small town for some reason. It's not, it's a full-on city, but we're in a nice quiet residential neighborhood. The building's clean, we've got AC, so yeah, this will do just fine. Kitchen, immediately when you walk in, we've got a sink, we've got cutlery and stuff. We've got a 4-burner gas stove, and we've got a washing machine for our clothes, which is fantastic. Yeah, pots and pans, there's a TV up there. This will definitely do. There is an apartment-sized fridge and freezer, so it's plenty spacious enough for us. We've got a little dining table for 2. We've got a couch and an armchair. Wonderful, wonderful AC unit, which will do nicely. And we've even got a balcony. So yeah, that'll do nicely. That's usually for the smokers. In here you've got our bedroom, so it's a double bed and a little wardrobe unit for hanging our clothes. And then bathroom, which is small, but you know what? It's clean. Yeah, I have no complaints. This will do just fine. So this place is costing us 60 Canadian a night for 2 nights. By comparison, the nightmare place that we had to cancel was 50 Canadian a night. So I know in the video he was saying 30, but that was US dollars. So our actual price in Canadian dollars was 50 a night. And I mean, within the same kind of price range, this is a world of difference.
Yeah, and if we had extended our stay and stayed the 2 weeks here, it would have gone down in price because that's how Airbnb works. The longer you stay, the cheaper it is. So that guy is running a racket. So that's all I have to say.
Yeah.
It's done. It's over. Just
moving on.
Yeah.
This place though is lovely. It's small, but it's clean and comfortable.
Yeah, it smells clean. It's very comfortable, and we're gonna
definitely clean. You can tell as soon as you touch the kitchen surfaces, use the bathroom, the couch.
Honestly, I'm kind of sad that we're only here for 2 nights, but there's only so much to do in Pamukkale. So, but yeah, we've got quite a bit planned for tomorrow. So we are gonna go get some food and get ourselves set up because we have an early start tomorrow.
The next day.
Good morning.
We're here at Pamukkale.
So early wake up. We got up at 5 a.m. We're about a half-hour drive from Denizli to Pamukkale, and that's because during the summers the gates open at 6:30 a.m. So we're here to beat the crowds.
And we're definitely not the only ones with this idea.
No, there's only a handful of other cars though, less than a dozen.
But this is exciting. I've seen it so many times, and I'm really excited to explore it. So. The English translation is Cotton Castle.
There's only a few people in line in front of us, but we got our tickets. It's €30 each for the base ticket, which includes Pamukkale and Hierapolis. Does not include Cleopatra's Pool, which doesn't matter anyways because that is currently closed for renovations. Not that we were planning to do that, but we'll show you what that looks like hopefully in a little bit. But yeah, it's time to go in.
This place is famous for the Travertine pools, which is where we're headed first thing. That's
before it gets too crazy with tourists.
And then also Hierapolis.
Yeah, so the ancient city of Hierapolis is also basically right at this site as well, which I think before we started watching travel videos, I would never have known that. I just assumed it was the Cotton Castle, but should be pretty cool to see. There's already some remnants and ruins and foundations and some broken columns around us, but we should be able to see much more of that after we hit the pools. So you can now see the Travertine terraces behind me. So what Pamukkale is famous for are these really mineral-rich hot springs, and over thousands of years, it's left behind these mineral deposits forming these white terraces, hence the name Cotton Castle, which is the literal translation for the word Pamukkale. The upper terraces are closed off to tourists. You're not allowed to walk on there, but now where we are, you can take your shoes off. Actually, you have to take your shoes off and walk out on the Travertines, which we're gonna go do now. So there are some slippery patches where there's algae covering the rocks, but if you stick to the white parts where it's basically all calcium buildup, it's just like the sticky waterfalls in Thailand.
As I'm walking along, you can feel the silt underneath, and it's built up. It must be calcium deposit, just not hardened yet. It's so soft. And just, it creates like a whole different level of wonder, I guess, when you're walking around, because as you walk, it just kind of like poofs up.
This is so cool, and all the tourists currently are still up at the top pools. We're the only ones heading down at the moment with like a couple people following. So getting here at 6:30 as they open is definitely the way to go.
Oh, look it, right behind you. Oh.
Hey buddy, the little one.
He followed us.
We made a new friend here at the lower pools.
Hello.
Down below us there, you can see the actual town of Pamukkale, where you can stay. There were a couple Airbnbs there. There's hotels there as well. We just chose to stay in Denizli because we had a better Airbnb with a kitchen there.
I am so glad we came. We have debated not coming because we had heard that a lot of the water is being diverted for city use and that the Travertine pools were more or less empty. But I am super happy that we came. This is just something that you can't compare to anything else. Like there's nothing I've ever seen that's anywhere close to this. We're just sitting here with our feet in the water. Some of the water is really chilly, some of the water is really warm.
The upper pools, I believe, are warmer, and then some of them cool down as you go.
Yeah, but it's really this place is just so cool.
Yeah, it's like a nice hot foot bath right now. Except also, as you're walking down the Travertines, in the pools there's like a fine silty material, so it's actually kind of soft. But on the actual walk, it's really sharp.
We are down at like the lower pools. It looks like most people stay up at the upper pools. Coming down, not gonna lie, is not the easiest trek to get down here. You have to be really stable on your feet. But if you can manage it, chances are you're gonna get some time to yourself. So it's totally worth it. I really thought that all these pools were naturally made, but there's no way. They're too perfectly formed and too perfectly equidistant apart. And also there's like this ledge at each edge. So what I'm thinking is that it was built in the Roman times, and over the years the calcium carbonate has built up on the edges.
These guys are so cute. There's a couple of them that have wandered down and are hanging out with the tourists.
Hello.
The dogs are hilarious.
So the dogs here, they chase the cats, and it's a whole racket. So they've been barking the whole time that we've been here. But what'd you think?
I'm glad we came. Knew it would be busy and touristy. Of course it is. But the pools themselves, the Travertine pools, are beautiful. There was more water there than I expected, but I think it's because they do redirect the water flow and probably fill, some of the pools to make them look more impressive. But still, they're really cool. Even though, like you said, some of them look like they're man-made, but I'm pretty sure they're like man-made from like ancient Greek and Roman era, and the calcium deposits have just formed naturally around, the Greek bathing pools, and it just looks really, really cool.
So I read a really quick article. Now, don't quote me on this. I could be wrong. It was just an article off the internet, so it may not be true. From what I understand is that they control where the water gets filled, and depending on which pools they decide to fill can be the one that you get to explore when you're here. Again, I don't know if that's true. It does look like the water is controlled and diverted in areas, so your experience may be completely different than ours.
And for example, just behind us over to our left right now, there's a bunch of completely bone dry pools with no water anywhere near. So yeah, I think they probably do to some extent control via some sort of irrigation system.
But now we're going to go explore Hierapolis, which is also part of this site. So there's a bunch of ancient ruins around, so we're going to go and discover.
Yeah, so Hierapolis was founded in the 2nd century BC by the Greeks. So it is an ancient, I believe Hellenistic city. And there's just ruins all around us right now here at Pamukkale. So yeah, we're just going to go poke around.
They definitely control the water. We found a bunch of drain pipes and stuff like that, and sections that are currently shut off. All this walkway that we're on, it can hinge up, so they should be able to push away the rock and let the water flow where they want it. We found a section that nobody's allowed to be in, and they have water running to the Travertines, and it is stunning. We are currently in a museum, I think.
Yeah, this is just a small museum. It's housed in like an old Roman bathhouse, I think. But this section is all like statues and sarcophagi from the Roman era. And so like this one big sarcophagus here dates from it says the first quarter of the 3rd century AD. So, it's like 1700 plus years old.
Yeah, these are very well preserved for how old they are.
So we're in a different gallery now, and it's got these like carvings from, I believe this is the Roman period, and it says, most of them say 2nd century, like end of the 2nd century AD. So, not as old as some of the stuff from before, but still like really, really old, really, really cool.
I can't get over how well preserved it is, actually, to be honest. I figured it would have weathered harder.
The statue behind me is of Hades, god of the underworld, and you can see kneeling at his feet is the figure of a dog, and if you zoom in close, you can actually see the 3 faces, so that would be Cerberus.
Behind me is a statue of Triton, the god of the sea.
According to that sign there, the building behind me was a Roman bath dating back to the 1st century AD. Behind us is the Frontinus Gate, which was the northern Roman gate into the city, and what's left standing here is very impressive.
This is really cool. I'm walking through the entrance of an ancient city. It's really cool. What we're currently walking on was buried.
Yeah, so this is called Frontinus Street, and this would have been the main street in the ancient Roman city. And when it was first uncovered by archaeologists, apparently it was covered in like 2 meters of calcium deposits from the natural springs, like the mineral deposits, like in the Travertine pools. And they had to use pneumatic compressors to break apart the layers of calcium deposits in order to uncover the street itself.
That is crazy. So if you think about it, the Travertine pools that are still in existence, there could still be more there that they haven't undercovered. But it's just so cool.
Yeah, like we're just walking down the main street of an ancient Roman city right now, and that's really, really cool.
This is the statue of Pluto? God
of the underworld.
Which is the god of the underworld. But underneath you can see that there's like a cave with water. That area has a lethal concentration of CO2 escaping from the water. I don't think they knew that back then. For us, this is our first ancient amphitheater ever.
Yeah, so we've come up the hill here from the lower section of Hierapolis, and we've arrived at the theater. And it's beautiful. There's like views of, you can see the Travertines off in the distance, the white limestone deposits there. And then you can see beyond that, you can just see a little bit of the town of Pamukkale, and it's really cool.
This place is so worth it.
Yeah, we seriously contemplated not coming to Pamukkale, but in the end we decided to, and I'm so glad we did, because this was absolutely worthwhile. Definitely one of the highlights of our trip to Turkey so far.
So it's not the easiest to get here. You can do a tour, obviously, but we didn't really want to do like a really quick tour. We wanted to take our time. So we decided to rent a car and come on our own. No regrets.
No, not at all. Now, the only thing I regret is it's really stinking hot today. It's in the 30s. I'm not sure exactly how hot, but we came at opening at 6:30 in the morning. What time is it now?
It's 11.
It's 11 a.m. right now, and it's scorching hot already, and we haven't even seen all of Hierapolis. There's a lot more to it. The city itself was massive, and it just goes like all over the place. We've only seen the main highlights, and there is more to explore, but it's too hot and sunny, and we don't want to get sunburns, so we're gonna go and get some lunch.
Yeah, so something to be aware of. Mobility, if you have any mobility issues, this is definitely going to be a challenge. The Travertine, you might get to like the first pool, but beyond that, it's probably going to be almost impossible to walk around. And then walking around the site, it's huge. So they do have carts. It looks like almost like golf carts, or like
6-passenger golf carts that you can rent, and they'll drive you around. Yeah.
So if you have mobility issues, highly recommend doing that. At least then you get to enjoy this place.
And yeah, same with the Travertines. Like Cory said, most people were up at the top pools. Very few people wander all the way down to the bottom like we did.
Yeah.
So something to be aware of. But if you're in Turkey, yeah, this is definitely something you should experience. So I think that's it for now. We're gonna go grab some lunch. Probably just drive into Pamukkale to do that, and then we've got one more stop today. You can see the buses behind us right now, all the tour buses. There's like tons of tours going on. This is why you show up first thing in the morning when they open, which during the summer is at 6:30 a.m. here at the South Gate. Because when we got here, there was less than 10 cars in the parking lot. And now there are literally dozens of tour buses.
I found a dedicated gluten-free bakery in Denizli. It's called Barbella Glutenese. They make baklava, and it tastes like baklava, and Wallace said it's as close to baklava as he can, like, say. Like, it's like what he would normally eat. So, good job. If you come to Denizli and you're gluten-free, check this place out. It's just a bakery. It doesn't have, like, sandwiches or burgers or anything like that. Like it says on the Find Me Gluten-Free app. But they do have an amazing selection.
1 hour later.
We've now driven about 35 minutes from Pamukkale, and we're at our next destination. We wanted to escape the heat of the day, so we are going underground.
Yeah, we're at Kaklik Caves. I believe that's how they say it.
Kaklik, I think. We'll pop the name on the screen somewhere. Not sure if we're pronouncing it right.
Yeah. We don't really know a whole lot about it. We don't know how big it is or anything like that. It was only, 60 lira to get in per person?
Yeah, 60 Turkish lira each for admission, which is pretty darn cheap. And we're right at the entrance, like the parking lot's right there, short walk in, and it basically just has stairs down into a cave, so let's go explore.
And they have, I think, a public pool, or what they describe as a public pool, Honestly, the water looked like it was naturally fed and not chlorinated, and it had
kinda
a pretty
green.
good scrum on it. So we will not be going into that, but that is something that they have here.
Oh, wow.
Okay, Kaklik Caves did not disappoint.
This was pretty cool. Little crowded, but beyond that, really, really beautiful, especially for only 60 lira to come in here. And that's including parking. Like, this is very unique.
Yeah, you're not good. It doesn't take you long to go around it, even when you're taking in the sights and stuff. We spent quite a bit of time just standing there and enjoying the view.
Yeah.
It is so pretty.
And it only takes like 20, 30 minutes at most to see this site.
Yeah.
Wear sandals or shoes you don't mind getting wet, because the water does run over the pathway at a couple points.
And there's some pretty deep points. But yeah, this is like the Travertine pools, but natural. There's no human altering to it, not other than like the stairs that go around. It's just gorgeous.
Yeah, and in general, people aren't supposed to be in these pools, but there are a couple of families here who are not exactly setting good examples for their kids and like plopping their kids in over the fence and into the little terrace pools, which don't be those people. That's just not cool. But other than that, definitely worth a side trip here in Pamukkale.
Yeah. I can't say enough. It won't be easy to get to, for sure. If you don't have your own car, it will cost you quite a bit in taxi fees. I don't know if there are tour groups that come out here. We didn't look into it. So.
I didn't see tour buses in the parking lot, so it's all just passenger cars.
Yeah. So if you can, make your way here. It's a little hidden gem.
Yeah. But anyways, I think that is going to do it for today. We are going to hop in the car, and we've got about a hour-long, probably hour-ish drive back to Denizli, to our Airbnb. But thank you very much for coming with us today and checking out Pamukkale and Hierapolis with us. We hope you've enjoyed this video. If you did, please hit the thumbs up, give us a like, and make sure you subscribe.
And join us in our next video for more adventures. Until then, stay curious and keep exploring.
That lady just started feeding some leftovers to that dog, which is awesome to see. And again, Turkey, you guys are doing something seriously right, because I've never seen so much care for stray animals in my life.